You know, it's absolutely incredible to be alive today. During this period of time, there was so much that is going on. And, you know, it's not till recently that I really have delved into the whole deconstruction movement and really became familiar with the term and found out that that was part of the journey that I was actually on, as well as thousands, if not millions, of other people all the way around the world. Because unfortunately, we've been told so many times throughout the years so many incorrect things, actually, to keep us controlled, to keep us from growing, to keep us from branching out, to keep us from stepping into freedom and from becoming the person that we were actually destined to be. And we've often are told the phrase, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, you know, and statements like that. And it's very, very interesting because the Bible is even used, especially by religious people, by um, in my case, Christians, to be able to prove certain statements, certain kinds of, um, a lifestyle, whatever it is. The Bible's often used, and I can't tell you how many times in over 42 years of my life I've been warned by teachers, pastors, leaders, fellow Christians to be so careful and to, the fear, that biggest fear that I ever had growing up was that I would somehow leave the church and step out into sin and rebelling against God, and terrible things would happen as part of the Bill Gothard movement, which the recent series on the Duggars and Bill Gothard that has come out is exposing. I went through that as a child. My family was in that program. We went to the basic and advanced seminars. We were very, very much a part of that in the homeschool movement, as well as the fundamentalists. We were like fundamentalist Baptists. And as I came over here to North Carolina, went to a independent fundamentalist. Basically, was a spinoff of Pentecostal, but they were independent. Um, Fundamentalist, and so I'm very well familiar with that whole belief system. And they continuously would warn us about walking away from what we had been taught by our teachers, listening to the voice of our teachers, taking godly counsel. So many of these different things that you're literally gripped by fear that the worst thing that would happen to you is that you would fall into sin and that you would totally lose your testimony and yada yada yada. And this was bombarded back to whether things Bill Gothard really, really pushed, that a child who was rebellious against their parents, the birds of the field would come and pluck your eyes out. And that would scare me to death as a child, because I was like, oh my God, just the whole visual picture of a bird coming in and plucking your eye out. I just could imagine. And it froze me into fear of, I didn't want to be that rebellious person. And yet there's some things that never fully lined up in the belief system and what I was taught, and I didn't understand it all at the time. And not saying I even still do, but we're all on a journey and we're in different parts of our journey. And as we realize that and accept that, we don't have to be focused on everybody else's journey, but really upon our own and where we are. And it's a beautiful thing to see different people at different levels figuring different things out, and just trying to figure out life in general. But so we were often warned and told these type of things that put us into great fear. The other thing that's often used, especially by Christians, is that's demonic. That movie's demonic. That getting into crystals is demonic. Tarot cards are demonic. Um, Whatever it is. Uh, we were warned against accepting something that was of demons. And the problem is, a lot of people, when they don't really know what a thing is, a tarot card. In fact, I have a tarot card deck right here that's in this box. It's basically, I mean, I can show you, they are literally cards that in and of themselves really have no power. They have pictures and nice, pretty decorations on one side. They, in and of themselves, are. I could tear one of these cards. It's just a piece of paper, a piece of cardboard. In and of themselves, they do no harm. It's about your intention, how you set them up, the words you say over them. But that's just like anything. Words in the in of themselves can be a spell. A prayer can be a spell. And these are many of the things that we really were not taught within the Christian church, within fundamentalism. We were taught what not to do: taste not, handle not, touch not, what not to do, and all these boundaries were set up. The problem is that many of us went through that, spent however many years to come through and really understand the majority of those teachings really are not even biblical. And even when they are, some of them are not necessarily directed for today or were written necessarily for us. And I've been one of the first people, I used to actually preach and tell people the Bible is very much a living word and it's for us today. So, where have I come to where I'm at this point here speaking with you and having this conversation of literally telling you that a lot of the belief systems that have been founded and built have been built upon man, and then we are told that that's what the Bible has said. You see, as we deconstruct, each and every day we're having to go through. Different people are doing it different ways. Some are doing it within the church. Some people are doing it through daily Bible studies, searching the scriptures and going, holy cow, literally in some cases. The holy cow idol that has been held up by many Christians is not even what the Bible has asked of us. The whole modesty, the whole purity movement is not even biblical. It's a disgusting movement when you get down to the core of it. Bill Gothard was part of pushing that. There's so many different leaders. I'm not here to name a bunch of names. That's not my point. My point is to share a little bit from my heart and some of the things I'm going through. But literally, we're having to deconstruct 4 by 4 by 4 by 4, panel by panel, and taking it apart and realizing that wasn't ever really there for us. It might have been for our learning, for our instruction, to bring us to where we are. But it's not part of our lifestyle. It's not what some of the things were truly abusive. They were truly teachings that should not have been taught, that we're having to deal with trauma, literally. I have friends, I have some from my childhood that recently have contacted me that are part of this deconstruction movement. And together we're sorting out the things that happened when I was a child, when they were a child, some things my parents said, some things that were happening back in the churches that we were involved in, and having to deconstruct some of that and literally come back to the surface core of who we are and what our belief system should be all about. So, millions, I believe there's millions of people who are part of this deconstruction movement. We're literally having to come back and peel back the layers of what Christianity is supposed to be, of what our natural life's supposed to be, of what really happened throughout history, of what's really going on in politics. And it's in so many different areas of, what is the spiritual life? What is the development of us as a human being, and where should we be as a individual? Where should we be as a collective? And one of the other things I want to mention before I close out this video, it's so ironic, even the whole concept of a one world religion has most people afraid of us actually uniting, when, believe it or not, even fundamentalism is part of the one world religion. There is no separation of church and state. There's so many different things I could go through. We literally have been lied to in so many different ways. It's hard to find where the actual truth is, and that's why we're having to work through to deconstruct and peel back and literally go all the way down to the foundation if necessary, and even break that up too, to literally come to find the essence of what truth actually is. And it is not an easy journey. So many of us go through the dark night of the soul. We feel alone. We feel like nobody else is on this journey. So I hope somehow this may encourage you, whether you're beginning on this journey, you've already been through it. You're definitely not alone. And if you're just starting, welcome aboard. If not, hello, welcome, traveler. And you know, there is no right and wrong of where you should be by a certain age along this journey or how long you've been in the journey. A lot of my journey really accelerated in 2020 when it seemed like the whole world stopped with everything going on. And you can see some of my other videos, I talk about some of those things. But you know, just each and every day, we are seeking to become the person that we were meant to be, that we came on this earth to be, remembering who we are, why we chose to come through this period of time, which is one of the greatest time that anybody has ever lived, because some of us are star seeds, some of us are light workers, some of us are empaths. Some of us have different abilities, and no matter what it is, whether it's just intuitive, literally, we are here for this period of time to be able to raise the vibrations, to work together as a collective, to become one, and to understand all these different labels and things are really divisive to be able to push us apart, keep us apart from actually accomplishing the very things that we set out to do. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you don't mind, subscribe, share, just help grow my channel. Be encouragement to each other. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. You all have a great day. And remember, you are amazing. You are here right now for a purpose. You don't even have to know what it is. Just simply by being here and being part of raising the vibration and coming to understand and do your part to search for the truth, to search for, you know, the just becoming a better person, developing, it's where it all starts. And it's definitely not the end. We're just getting started. Have a great day. Namaste.